looking at me.
Ah! Damn it! Ah!
10 super cheesy horror movies that are incredibly fun. We do appreciate the creepy horror movies that manage to scare us out of our wits. At the same time, often all that we are looking for is a fun break. So as much as the serious horror flicks are admired, the cheesy and funny horror comedies are also appreciated by the fans. The era of the 80s and 90s provided for some amazing movies from this genre that were never intended to be taken seriously. In this video, we bring to you some of our cheesy horror flicks that will make you laugh and provide some mindless entertainment.
Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin.
Get away! Get away! Get away! Get away! Ah! No, Corky!
Bad Channels. 1992. An alien arrives on Earth with the motive of taking some human females back with him. He lands in a small town and takes control of the local radio station. The disc jockey, Dan, is well known for his publicity stunts, and the alien takes him hostage. He then uses his audiences through the radio station to narrow down his targets, and then shrink the women to add to his collection. This is a typical horror B-flick that involves a hilarious alien with an oversized head. It is a full moon production, and is probably among their cheesiest works. The plot is campy and ridiculous, but is surely going to be an entertaining watch. Some of the scenes, such as the ones involving the local cop, will leave you in splits. He refuses to acknowledge the existence of Alien every time someone tells him about it. The climax is extremely unexpected, but the makers never really explain why the alien was trying to capture women in the first place. The cast has some familiar faces, such as Aaron Lustig, Ian Patrick Williams, and Michael Huddleston, who have done a decent job with the laughable plot. A worthy component of this movie is the amazing musical score by the rock band Blue Oyster Cult. In short, keep your brains on pause if you want to truly enjoy this movie. Night of the Demons, 1988. We are all accustomed to stories of Halloween parties gone wrong, and this movie is another attempt at exploring the plot. A group of 10 teenagers decides to have their Halloween party in an abandoned funeral parlor that is said to have been built on an evil patch of land. With their actions, they somehow manage to awaken the evil force, and demonic spirits stop them from leaving the place. A fun party soon becomes a battle for survival as the teenagers try desperately to escape the cursed land. As far as cheesy, mindless movies are concerned, this one has everything that you could want, from demons, violence, to naked ladies. Kevin Tenney has ensured that the style of direction captures the fun bits to make light of the serious situation. Some of the death scenes are outright hilarious, such as when a couple met their horrible death while going at it in a casket of all places. The acting performances stand out, and Linnea Quigley, in particular, has aced her role with all the experience of working in several horror movies. There are times when a creepy mood sets in with the style of storytelling, but once the demon's actions kicks in, it promises to be an entertaining affair. The scenes come to life courtesy of the brilliant makeup effects, and the cinematography is pretty good for a low-budget horror flick. You have plenty of cheap thrills and gore, but isn't that the whole point of watching a cheesy horror flick? Leprechaun, 1993. During a vacation, Dan O'Grady steals 100 gold coins from a leprechaun. The murderous midget follows him to his home, but Shay ensures that he is locked up in a crate in his basement. Several years later, a man rents the property along with his daughter for the summer. Unknowingly, they release the leprechaun, which then goes berserk to reclaim his stolen gold. It has no respect for human life, and the father-daughter duo must find Dan to seek the way out from this evil, sadistic leprechaun. It is hard to tell if the makers intended to make you laugh as much as you would after watching this movie, but you will for sure, even though it is a horror movie with an exciting plot. The movie stars Jennifer Aniston in her prime, and while she is impressive, Warwick Davis steals the show in the role of the Leprechaun. This movie was released during a time when the slasher movies had lost their steam, but it still packs some gory moments. There are some great one-liners and much of the script is high on the laughs. With so much entertainment on offer, it warranted many more consequent Leprechaun movies, but we would have to say that it is the best one. Gather a group of friends for a movie night, and as long as you guys have a sense of humor, you would enjoy this fantastic movie. Watching this. TerrorVision, 1986. What if some of the horrific things that you watch on TV become real? In this movie, Stan installs a new satellite TV set for his family. Soon, he starts to receive strange signals from another planet as the television becomes a gateway between the two worlds. A monstrous creature comes to his apartment and initially only his young son can see it. The parents don't believe him till the hungry monster starts feasting on the family members. TerrorVision is a well-crafted satire on the media-obsessed society. And despite the campy narrative, it ranks as a very popular movie in the horror comedy genre. With Empire Pictures being in charge, you can expect some cheesy special effects to inspire the laughs besides the hilarious script. Some lines, such as the ones that says MTV is a secret conspiracy to rot the brain, are just there to heighten the effect of this parody. The bizarre story teams up with the grotesque makeup effects to purposely present a comical effort where even the murder scenes are made to look funny. The alien extends a claw to inject something into the victim that turns them to some kind of green goo that the monster licks up. Even the family dynamics are shown to be weird, just to be in sync with the improbable plot. It is a cult classic that you wouldn't mind with a couple of beers and a pizza. Guilty pleasures are essential too. Brainscan, 1994. A lonely teenager is obsessed with a strange interactive video game where he has to kill innocent victims. The game uses hypnosis to stimulate the gaming experience into one of the most terrifying nightmares. However, a nasty shock awaits the teenager when he comes back from his hypnotic trance. He realizes that he has actually committed a brutal murder that was depicted in the game. An innocent game has actually managed to turn him into a killer. The story is even more relevant today when we live in a world that constantly blurs the separation between the virtual world and reality. Considering that this is a low-budget psychological horror film, credit is due for the filmmakers who managed to narrate the story in style. The central character is a young teenage boy who has a lonely childhood, and the fantasy world is his only friend. All through the film, they explore the brutality of one's inner evil. This movie does a great job of pulling you into the world of the young boy who gets stuck in the situation. Although you don't really have many scary moments, the central theme itself is very creepy. The scene where the young boy finds a human foot in his fridge is outright terrifying. Yes, the plot is absurd, but haven't we all had dreams about something terrible and woke up to find that it actually happened? Shopping Mall, 1986. A shopping mall is employing a robotic security system where the robots would be in charge after the mall is closed. Some of the employees working in the mall stay back for a late night party, but the occasion is ruined when the robots malfunction. The robots make it their mission to kill anyone in their way and hunt down the employees through the mall. The seemingly indestructible robots must be fended off until they can find a way out of the mall. Sometimes even predictable movies can be a lot of fun, and Chopping Mall is a great example. Even with a little experience in the extermination flicks of the 80s, you would figure out who are the ones that are going to die, and yet you would love the mayhem in the mall. It has a traditional B-movie plot that takes into account everything from killer robots to partial nudity. The movie is cheesy and stupid, but that is the whole point of filming such flicks. It is more of a horror spoof than a horror movie, and even the brutal killings are laugh-worthy. Some scenes are just impossible, and yet you would watch, enjoying every bit of it. The group of employees finds a weapon arsenal in the mall, and then onwards, you see them use the flashiest of guns to take down the robots. Instead of questioning why there are so many guns in a shopping mall, it is best to enjoy the experience and de-stress from hard work. Dead Alive, 1992. Lionel is an oppressed bachelor who lives with his despotic mother in a quiet town in New Zealand. He eventually finds his soulmate in the pretty grocery store clerk, Paquita. But his good times are short-lived when his mother is bitten by the Sumatran rat monkey during a trip to the zoo. She steadily turns into a flesh-eating and a pus-squirting undead monster who starts to infect the other citizens, thereby turning them into bloodthirsty zombies. Lionel has to clean up the mess behind her, but if he is to get together with his ladylove, he must act on this disastrous situation. It is hard to imagine that the man who went on to direct the Lord of the Rings trilogy was once in charge of a movie like this. But this is among the earlier works of Peter Jackson, and he shows glimpses of the expertise as he provides us with a heartening horror comedy. The characters are intriguing, and the mother, in particular, is shown as this controlling woman who looks to control her son even in her undead situation. Once the real madness begins, you have an unreal amount of blood and gore to lighten up the screen. The crazy, visceral journey has way too many intestines and morbid deaths, but the element of comedy is what lightens the mood. Watch out for the scene with the lawnmower as well, which has the potential to make you throw up in disgust. If you can handle the incredible gore, you do have a great horror comedy at hand, directed by one of the finest in business. Subspecies, 1991. An evil vampire, Radu, had been in exile for many years but returns to his hometown. He steals the bloodstone from his father and kills him. When two girls team up with a local to work on Romanian culture, he is drawn to them. But the girls are being protected by a good vampire, who happens to be his half-brother Stefan. As the clash intensifies, the fate of the girls rests on who emerges victorious. Full Moon Pictures is known for their remarkable work with B movies, and this one is a vampire flick done right. The plot restores the vileness to the vampires, while also portraying a good fellow trying to protect the innocent. The location in Romania is a showstopper, and amazing cinematography allows for some scenic views. You will be amazed by the character of Radu, that is mildly based on Nosferatu. He has some of the best lines, and the performance of Anis Hovey is mind-blowing, to say the least. The awkward animation leaves room for improvement, and the sword fighting scenes are rather lousy, but the movie never disappoints with the quirkiness. Subspecies also intelligently involves some local folklore to make matters interesting. It is unfair to judge this movie, strictly given that it is a mere straight-to-video vampire horror that only intends to give you some mindless entertainment.
This is all the time we had for today's episode. We hope you guys liked it. To subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tell us which topic you want us to cover in the comment section. Have a fantastic day ahead and stay safe.